which is a fantastic new book, which kind of deals with some of this. I mean, Dred Scott was a slave. The Supreme Court said, you know what? He's not really a person. Blacks aren't people. Sorry about that. And people stood up and said, yeah, excuse me, I don't think I'm going to listen to that Supreme Court. Eventually, it was overturned, thank God.
Right. But the same principle was followed in Roe versus Wade when the Supreme Court said babies in the womb are not people, and therefore you can kill them up to the moment of birth. So the same logic prevailed 100 years later. Okay.
So we were talking before the break about something, and for the life of me, I can't remember what
Wickard
it was.
against.v+filburn.
Yes.
A farmer grows an acre of wheat in his backyard, and the feds come and say, you can't do it. You have to have a minimum of 12 acres. He said, who are you to tell me what I can grow in my backyard? It's my wheat. My wife grinds it into flour. She bakes bread, and we eat it here. I don't sell it. Not only does it not go interstate, it doesn't even leave my property. The Supreme Court said, oh, no. If we let a lot of other farmers do this, it might conceivably affect interstate commerce. Therefore, the managers of the economy in Washington can regulate what a farmer grows in his own backyard for his own uses. From that opinion spawned the ability of the federal government to use the Commerce Clause, the regulation of interstate commerce, of which the wheat was not, to regulate anything they want.
I'd like to hear from Gary and Judge and Kevin, because this is what you guys do. This is, I mean, this is the thing. And Gary, this is what your gun law is all about. It's the interstate clause, that the way they interpreted it with the wheat and everything else, this is what gives them the right to say, if I'm a baker and I'm just making donuts, that minimum wage applies to my employees because somehow or another my donuts, you know,
might end up in another state.
Or I bought the grease from another state to fry them in, right?
That's the logic.
And so this is what gave them all this creeping power. Kevin?
Well, it's true that what we have here is just a kind of enterprise among the judges, and legal academia backs this up to, we call it interpreting, but really it's ignoring the Constitution. The idea that the federal government was going to have control over only the interstate, and we completely ignored the main principle, which was, again, that local decisions were supposed to be made locally. Over time, the federal government has said, yeah, we can do anything. We have the Army, we can do anything.
Right. And
that is not constitutional.
And the reason why they wanted control of interstate, or they didn't want to control, they wanted to regulate it, was because the states were fighting with each other.
Correct. Right. They used the word regulate interstate commerce in the Constitution. The word meant to keep and make regular.
Right.
To make sure there is commerce, so not to ban it, tax it, or control it.
So if I were a baker and this is New York and this is New Jersey, I could come over with my donuts and I could sell them to New Jersey, and they couldn't say, whoa, 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 there's 100% tax on that donut because it's crossing. It was to make it all regular.
Correct.
Okay. We tie all of this together next.